It is Tree from Tree Essentials, and we are restoring our tree to grow essentially, and that means your hair. Yes, your hair is like a tree, you are like a plant, and I want to talk a little bit deeper into that while I am sitting here today in this beautiful area, meaning the background is blooming. You can see little tiny buds, and eventually this will be a whole piece of different plants. And while I'm saying that, that is the same thing with our hair growth. You know, when you get those trims and ends clipped and cut, a lot of people think our hair is growing because our ends are clipped and cut, and it's not because of that. It's actually your hair is always growing. It's 90% in the catagen phase, but the ends are a little healthier. They're able to stay up and uprooted, and that's something we need to talk about on staying in our comfort and as well budding and expanding out. So let's get further into it. So yes, your hair is a part of your life experience, and it's something that is truly phenomenal because when you are on that growth journey with yourself, you have nothing to do but thrive. You know, when they say new do, new you, or when she cuts her hair, she's going to be a changed woman. That is because energy is being released. First and foremost, our hair holds energy. Secondly, when you have a newness to you, it's like, I want to do everything different and brand new. And that is nothing but an amazing thing. And there are some people like, I don't even like trimming my ends like that. Well, as long as you are having healthy hair growth and you do it ever so sparingly and keep your ends protected, you don't need as much growth cut off. But that is as well someone who is going on a studious routine on their habits and maintaining on their hair routine. When people are going for new changes or they do drastic things, there's a lot of drastic things that are maybe happening that we need to be aware of. The seasons, we have 4. We have spring, winter, summer, and fall. And think of your hair growing as the spring and summer piece. And the summer is the luscious piece. The spring is when it's budding out, especially right after that growth. But then the fall part, think of that as your telogen phase. Telogen is when your hair is releasing and getting off. And that can actually be the end of fall, closer to winter, because that's when it's straight dormant. And that is the catagen phase. So when you think of that, there's what we do in our life. We may have many processes. You're working on some type of goal of yours. You feel probably in the midst of it, and you're like, oh, am I going to actually see some results? Same thing with our hair growth. We have to learn that patience. Patience is key. We are restoring our tree to grow essentially. Trees do not grow in a year. Well, there are some trees, of course, they spud and go through their cycle, but you're not going to see it huge and expanding until normally like the 5th or 7th to 10th year. Same thing with our hair. Our hair tends to grow up to 7 to 12 years based upon what type of hair butters and oils you are using, how you are treating it overall, the whole journey. And that even means on the protection part. When you are protecting a tree, sometimes people put mulch down so that it can keep its coolness if it's in a super hot area. Sometimes people are putting in root to it so that the buds will come out and propagate a lot easier, meaning they are putting their hands into the growth process. That's a part of what you need to do. You need to make sure that you are literally making sure you maintain the growth with your oils and butters. Think of that as the rooting part. Now think of the pruning, meaning the clipping the ends, as something that's not necessary all the time. You actually prune normally once a year. That's the same with clipping ends. Now that is very controversial because there are some people that need it more often due to the fact of the way they wear their hair. Some people wear their hair more straight. Some people wear it out a lot more, meaning even in afro styles, especially in the wintertime. If you are wearing your hair out and about, I say always 50 and below, you really need to be protecting it. It's cold outside. You know how your skin get ashy? Because your hair get ashy and it's starting to split because of the air and the shafting. Now, There's so many pieces to a plant, and just like a plant, you are growing your hair. You want to get it into its right ingredients. So you see me in the shade right now because of where I'm propped at, but if you look further behind me, there is a lot of sun. You want to get out in nature. You are like a plant, and you need to be grounding, releasing energies that no longer services your body. You need to be making sure you're just taking in that fresh air, that like for real. I'm not playing though. Being indoors all day, especially if you're a work from home person, see if you can work outside if it's not too windy. See if you can step out at least, get some fresh air, walk around. You are like a plant. Now, plants don't walk, but the wind does move it around. It makes it a lot sturdier. Same thing with us. If we're not getting outside, eventually pollen and allergies have come up to us, and we start getting a little colder because we're not used to our environment. And that is the last piece that I really wanted to talk about, is your environment is key. Everybody does not live in the same place, just like every plant does not grow the same adequately in each environment. Some places are hot and dry, some places are humid and hot, some places are dry and cold and humid. Some places are cold and crisp air. Some places have all the seasons. Now, that's what that adaptability piece comes into play, and that is really like how a plant is. A plant knows its seasons on when it is to grow and when it is to stop. And just like it says in the Bible, there is a time and place for everything. There's a season for everything under the sun. Time to mourn, time to plant, time to rebuild, time to die, time to wither, time for joy, time for sadness. We are human. We are having experiences, and that's the beauty and joy of everything. Because nothing is the same. The only constant in life is change, and that is so beautiful. And I know there be some parts like, this is not cute, but guess what? Like I said before, there was this Israeli man, and I said, oh, the birds chirp around you, they're so beautiful. And he said, but they poop right in the same area. So there's always beauty, but there's always going to be something else tied to it as well. So do not ever take one season as the end all be all, because if it's not the best right now, no, you're not at the end, and your hair is going to love you for that, because as you go through that process and you just start embracing yourself with more self-love and self-care, I truly, just like a plant, you're going to grow and bloom a lot easier. When I say a plant loves when it's being loved on, it loves music. Like, dance, baby. Dance is some beautiful, positive music, not that sad song. Plants die to rock music, to heavy music, to sad music. They wither, actually. Plants love to be enjoyed. They love the peace, and you are the same. And your body, your hair is not the only thing growing when you're growing your hair out. You are an extension. Your hair is just a sensor to the earth. You are the thing that matters. So please keep that in mind as you go on your self-care, self-love journey, because it is such a beautiful season and reason to be alive. And yes, there is so much going on in the world, but you really got to focus in on your peace of mind. Your peace of mind is everything. Finding that gratitude, finding that joy, finding that hope, finding that reason. And I promise you, having Creator in your life is really going to help on this journey and process. And actually, Creator is a big key component into the hair growth journey, just like he's a big key component into nature, because nature was here first before humans. And if we replicate what we see here on this earth, you really can start seeing a big growth in abundance. And everything looks up to the sun, just like the sun is our creator. Not that sun, but I'm talking about the Holy Spirit sun, okay? So when I'm saying all of these things, I'm just saying, keeping your peace, be vibrant, love yourself, be like a plant, thrive, do your best thing, love on yourself. When there are times that you are down, shake it off. Find a couple days if needed to be so sad, and then just wake up and just be like, okay, not acting. If you really need to get some seek support, remember, I'm a health educator. I'm not gonna tell you things that are not true. If you need support, get your support. But there's a lot of times, if we do emotional strategies, emotional intelligence, and finding our ways to deep breathe and reflect, you can get yourself out of all these little funks that sometimes happen on this planet, because we are humans. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. Keep that in mind as you go and glow and grow in this journey, especially on your hair growth journey. Because if you ask Creator, hey, can you be with me on my walk with my hair growth journey? If I do ... however you are, it's going to be so much dramatic change. I am again a health educator and as well an advanced natural hair consultant, and I can truly assist you on this journey. I want you to click the link and book a wellness consultation with me. And not only that, I want you to join my free community that is there with many plethora of resources that can get you started even further on your journey. We are here to grow, succeed, and prosper over in this area on this platform. So with that being said, I again am Tree from Tree Essentials, and we are restoring our tree to grow essentially. And yes, our hair is a tree. We are like a plant, and we have the ability to plant seeds, inspire others, and inspire change. And with that being said, you have a great day and or night whenever you are watching this. Go enjoy this nature, enjoy yourself, and just go be vibrant. And I look forward to seeing you soon. All right, have a good one.